Geometry Dash's rating system has the potential to become one of the best avenues in the world for aspiring artists and game developers to kickstart their careers, but has not lived up to its potential. While some say that the solution is to rate more levels, I actually think that the rate system can only help unnoticed creators by adopting higher standards. I'm going to explain why I think that standards are so crucial, and also address concerns about enforcing subjective standards on Geometry Dash levels. So why do I think that making it harder for new creators to access GD's promotional functions will help them establish themselves in this community? For that, an explanation of how I understand the rating system is required. This is very oversimplified, and if you think this model is flawed, feel free to tell me why. This circle represents the limited resource that is eyeballs on the Geometry Dash custom levels scene. This resource is shared by every single creator, and while Geometry Dash has gotten huge in recent years, this circle is simply never going to be large enough for all the tens of millions of levels out there. That's where the rate system comes in. You see, RobTop figures that a beautiful level that took days to build deserves more attention than Unnamed Zero in the Recent tab, so the circle is sort of divided like this. The big section is for the select few levels deemed worthy of promotion, and this little section is for the rest. Big difference in how big your slice of the pie is between rated and unrated levels. That doesn't mean that a level in this section will get exactly this many downloads, that's all random. What this does is it influences the randomness. A level in the featured tab is more likely to be played by more people than if that level wasn't featured. And the additional people who might play this level include YouTubers and community figures who could give you even greater exposure. So that's what you do if you want to make your dreams come true in Geometry Dash. You get all of your levels into here, and you hope that the additional eyeballs on them can eventually get you your big break that turns you into a household name. The two things that limit the possibility for unnoticed creators to get noticed are 1. Getting into this section in the first place, that's due to the failure of the mod system, and 2. There being too many levels in this section, meaning individual levels don't have a large enough slice of the pie. When that denominator is large enough that you're competing with an ocean of mediocre levels for attention, breaking out of obscurity becomes extremely luck-based. The system needs higher standards to prevent this from happening. The pushback I hear when I say that RobTop needs to stop rating bad levels is usually something along the lines of, hey, it doesn't really matter. A rated level isn't necessarily going to get way more downloads than an unrated level. It doesn't mean much outside of a number next to the hammer icon on a creator's profile. My response to such statements is that this really just proves why higher standards are needed. The devaluing of rated levels is the result of years of low standards or inconsistent standards on RobTop's end, so I don't see how making the standards even lower and rating every level that meets those low standards is supposed to make the situation better. If we want the rating system to be this great tool for aspiring creators, then we need having a rated level to actually mean something, which would require higher standards that, yes, would make it harder to get into this section, but once you do, at least you know that you won't be buried. That attention won't be drawn away from your works by other levels that simply aren't as worthy of that attention. But Rootbeer, I hear some of you say, what makes you think that anyone can just judge which levels deserve attention and which ones don't? There is no such thing as an objective standard for what makes a good level, and it doesn't make sense to base the whole thing on someone's opinion. Yes, art is subjective, but I think you're taking that a bit too far. I believe the factors which separate decent levels from better levels are things that we can all pretty much agree with. I can't say exactly where to draw the line or how many rated levels is too many, but if someone who knows Geometry Dash were to come in and prune a portion of the featured tab, I don't think that would start wars with people saying this level that got rejected is just as good as this other level that got accepted, if not better. And you know what? Even if I personally disagreed with some of these hypothetical standards that could get implemented, I would still see the value in creators knowing what they have to do to get featured and having a greater chance at success once they are able to meet that standard. As long as they have some logic behind them, Higher standards will move us closer to the goal of GD's rating system becoming a force for good. But if we really want to fix things, there's another critical aspect of it that absolutely must be addressed.